Hello and welcome back to Let's Play the Waylanders with me, Bring It On. See if we can't track down Amergin. Get our eyes on this future that Delbo was talking about.
Inquisitors, part of that religion I was telling you about, their mission is to exterminate us. Humans in this time frame are a lot less accepting of us. They think that we're monsters. Servants of darkness, it's all part of their crazy religion. Anything they can't explain, they hate. Let's find Amergin. I think these Inquisitors are here for him.
Surrender yourself now, and perhaps you'll be spared the worst of the agonies we have in store. The fires of hell are hotter than you can imagine.
Your hell is a lie, fool. And I am strong enough to stand against you again this day. And stronger still with my allies.
Well, Amergin's got a little darker.
Amergin he's what they call a heretic. His magic paints a target on his back.
Oh gosh. It's alright, the main character's going to tank everything by himself. We don't need Delbo. Yeah, see? We got it all under control. Should we take a look around before we continue? I don't know if it's going to kick us out of this area before we leave or not. There's some loot up here. Yeah, I'll take a look around just to be safe. Some more enemies afoot. And they canceled her healing. I think we just found all that 6-star equipment, and I think it's already been immediately made obsolete, since now we're finding like 13 and 14-star equipment. Or at least gems. We haven't found any equipment yet. I should take that back. We found that dagger.
You shouldn't be here. Or maybe you shouldn't be you. I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe I'm confused. Everything is changing. You've come a long way, Miller Spain. And what's more, you don't seem to have aged a day since I saw you last. If anything, you look younger. You'll see that I haven't managed the same feat myself, but saying that, I've lived through all these years concurrently while you're skipping through them like a stone cast across the surface of the water. It seems strange to be at the end point of our conversation of so long ago, when it's merely the starting point for you. Time is a strange river, and you may be the strangest thing in its current. Miller Spain, you came through a doorway from the past. You will return to the past again. And there you will forge this future.
I don't even understand what you're saying here.
All right. Let me try to explain again. Or, better yet, let Miller Spain ask some questions. Mill, you are an honored guest here.
Hang on. We're going back in time?
If you're here, it's because you can move through time. Your ability and the connection to the Vengeance allows you to sail the seas of time. It's my duty to return you there. I will go with you.
Was he saying we can just jump back and forth between the past and the future? That's kind of cool. I was wondering how we're going to turn in that one quest. We still haven't completed it. I think we still have to kill 4 corrupted humans. But neat. How are we having conversations in your past and my future?
Because you vanished from the point where I saw you last and came here. But I won't remember a conversation from the past until you come back and have it. Your actions now will cause ripples in the river of time that reach all the way back to us. It is an aberration in the world, and one that still requires careful study. I hope you still trust me.
Why wouldn't I trust you?
I have grown old and bitter in these centuries, my friend. I do not believe I am the same man I once was. I don't know if he remains within me. But I would help you return to your proper time, and there, perhaps, we can learn about these mysteries together.
Can I change the past?
It may be that you can change the course of this time stream, though I don't know how I'd recognize it if you do. I only know the outcomes of what you have done in my timeline. If you make a change, does it affect all possible worlds? Or is time fixed and fated? We simply do not know.
I guess no more questions.
And I should warn you before this goes much further. The Inquisitors who attacked me, they were agents of the Church. An incredibly powerful and dangerous organization. And given the chance, they'll kill you too.
What is this church anyway?
It's a long story. The short version is that it's a religion from the East that's been spreading across the continent for centuries. Druidic magic, necromancy, the old gods. The Church calls them all pagan. Heresies that must be stamped out save the people's souls.
Are they really that bad?
Even if they weren't trying to kill me, I'd stand against them. The Church is a threat to the entire world you knew. Every practitioner of the old ways, every magical creature, lives in hiding because of them.
Where are you going with this?
I've heard whispers that the Church has a secret prison in the catacombs, under the cathedral in Compostela. One where magical beings are held captive and experimented on.
Alright, no more questions.
Now listen, the Inquisitors will likely return soon. Ironically, we don't have much time before they do. I will tend to you and return you to your proper time. Let us return to your ship, and perhaps we can explore these answers together. Just think about your destination in the same way you did every time we travel. But this time, also think about where it is in time.
Is he supposed to be T-posing? Is that part of the cutscene?
Spain? What are you doing here? Where did you come from?
One moment nothing, the next here.
The last we saw you, you touched that roiling ball of power in Nazeja's cave. The corruption summoned by the Mourian coven. What happened? How did you find us?
I traveled forward in time by 16 centuries, and then you sent me back.
Fascinating. I remember Nazeja said that you were special, but I had no idea how special.
We got to tell Nazeja you're back. She was horrified when you disappeared. She thought we'd lost you.
Alright, we have a few level ups to take care of. Reclios, 2 points in his strength, 1 in constitution. Abilities, roar. Alright, traced, you get go to friends, use magic to go to friends. Hello, friends. Then his points, I guess 2 into agility. No, 2 into willpower, 1 into agility. Mal, 2 into perception and 1 into agility. She gets roll, tumble to a new position. Then Rhea gets draw blood, claw your chest, losing health to generate fury. And for her points, I guess 2 into perception and 1 into constitution. And we should probably go and take care of all of our equipment, because we have a ton of equipment to go through. Start by selling what I currently have in my inventory. All this 3-star junk. Oh, some of this stuff is slotted. Alright. Let's take care of that first. It'd probably be easiest just to go ahead and... because everybody got equipment, so I think we need to unslot everything that we have. Be a little time consuming. Might be better if I do it off camera, but you know what, maybe I'll do that. At least for all the B team characters. I don't have to undo the Route of the Dead because that's still her Khaldun's best piece of equipment. All the 3-star stuff has to go. Yeah, so I'm just gonna equip all this, then I'm gonna go to speak to Nezedja, then I'll try to deal with most of this off camera. We go sell some stuff real fast as well. Just to clear out our inventory a smidge. Yeah, we have a ton of stuff to go through. Okay. But for now, let's go speak to our friend and let her know we're okay. Oh, this guy.
Ah, you've returned. Have you reconsidered my offer then? So stubborn.
I mean, we completed the quest. Well, I guess we failed the quest. Excuse me. Weird throat noise.
Milispania? Is it really you? I thought we'd lost you. You vanished to my sight in a wave of corruption. What happened?
I traveled to the future, 16 centuries to be precise.
The scent of the future's manna on you. You are unstuck in time. And I need to speak plainly here. The corruption that poisoned Ireland and destroyed King Ith, the foulness that infects our magic, it is a curse that spreads backward through time, spreading along the manner of our world. I have seen it. Its source lies in the time from which you emerged. I'm not accusing you, but... Darling, I fear this corruption might have something to do with you.
What do you mean?
I mean that there is a mystery in time, darling, and you are the common factor. You have travelled to the future. The corruption comes from the future. It travels backwards along the ley lines, its source 1600 years from now.
Yeah, I'm not certain I'm the problem.
Perhaps, perhaps not. But we must operate under the assumption that you are inextricably linked to the problem. Do you see? It is my dear hope that you are the fated solution, rather than its cause.
And what do you want me to do about it?
I am delighted you've asked. You see, your boon companions in our time, the mortals among them have reincarnated in that future. You must take your ship and remind their souls of their debts at this time. Once you have found them, seek out the sources of the corruption. I fear there may be more than one. Destroy each that you find, and return to this time. You can travel back and forth at will, I believe.
My friends have reincarnated. How will I find them?
Their souls are tied to yours, Milispania. If you bend your thoughts to resolving the problem, the magic of the way will call them from across the world. No matter what body they wear or what language they speak, your paths will cross. Indeed, it's unlikely that they'll be from our fair land, for reincarnation is fickle. They have been, but they are still bound to you. The talks they gave you when you proved your loyalty to them, those talks can connect their past lives with the present, and show them the truth of what you say.
Amergin was not reincarnated. He was old.
16 centuries? Darling, that's far too old for any mortal. He must have reached a level of mastery of magic like no one has ever achieved before. He may be a pompous ass, but he's clearly a genius.
Why was he replaced by his younger version when he came back to me?
Because time is smarter than all of you, Mill. You are special and dangerous because of that. Time works like a self-correcting river. The Amergin of the future can't be here because his younger self is already here. Reality itself changes him to who he should have been at this time.
What are the Torques?
They are an alloy of the metal forged deep in the heart of our underworld. They can create a bond between points in time, allowing your friends to recover their memories and experiences.
If I destroy the corruption in the future, what will happen here?
Truthfully, I do not know. What has been done in time frequently remains in time. It is a mighty river, and its course is not so easily altered. Think of it this way. If someone drops a cartload of manure upstream from you, you will sicken and die if you drink from the river. Should you remove the manure from the river, it will become pure again. But if you were to accomplish something truly momentous, slaying a king perhaps, you might see the river of time overflow its banks. Your future has always been shrouded to me, Mill. I can say nothing with certainty as far as you are concerned.
Can you come with me?
I wish I could, my friend, but I must reach the future the traditional way, moment after moment, in sequence. The Nadeja you see there will not be the Nadeja you see here, just as the younger version of yourself is not the same as the one you will see here today. Still, I have lived many hundreds of years. It is likely I will be unchanged. I speculate that it is an incident with the Tuatha de Danaan that did this to you, that allows you to move through the time stream like a fish rather than a leaf.
How do you know all this?
I am a seer. It is my job to know. It's my fate, as unpleasant as it might be.
Where should I go? How will I know what to do?
Go to the village of Dunias. The magic of the way is so strong that it will resonate throughout the ages and will attract the souls of your companions, whoever they are and wherever they are born. The way will attract them in all their reincarnations, as long as we do not complete our mission.
What's waiting for me when I get there? What should I expect?
It is a new era, a new place. You have seen some of what awaits you already, but it is a culture that fears many. It is a world of cold stone and hard hearts. Be on your guard. Now go, my darling. The future awaits, and the present depends on your skills.
Alright, no more questions, I guess. We leveled up. That means we get our advanced class. Alright, abilities. I can choose between the Vanguard, a frontliner guardian who's always the first to jump over his enemies. Blacksmith, a guardian with a critical eye to strategy, able to place and detonate strange artifacts. And Chieftain, magical guardian who leads allies who deposit their faith on him, healing and protecting them from their foes. Well, that sounds the most like the Paladin, so let's go with the Chieftain. I like the name Vanguard more than Chieftain. Alright, so what skills do we get? Support friends. Heal an ally and cause her attacks to deal additional damage. Consumes fury. Mortal area. Hit your enemy causing damage. In addition, you create an area within which the elemental resistances of your enemies are reduced. So I don't think those values are correct. 3,000%? And then minus 3,000%? And the descriptions are obviously not correct either. Missing string table entry. Then main training. Now your training also increases your utility. Up by 0.5. Missing string table entry. And then it's magic. Increases your magic protection by 87.3%. Values seem a little wonky. Now let's fast travel back to the ship. And see if that fixes the missing descriptions. It did not. Okay. Well, all these seem pretty good. I'm going to give my character another damaging ability because we don't have very many. And one of the two that we... Well, yeah, 2 of the 3 that we have consumes all of our fury. This doesn't say it costs fury at all. And it's a nice little debuff. We'll do something like that. Why is he still... Oh, formations. Oh, cool, we get the first upgrade. So we can do shield wall. Increase the formation's physical defense, or mystic wall increases the magic defense. There's definitely more physical damagers on the enemy side, so we'll grab that. My character's still lit. Does a little exclamation point on his portrait. I'm not sure why. Alright, so Amergin can become a blood shaman. Tell me what it does. A jester. Madman healer with an obnoxious security and fortune and good luck. Entitled Druid. The calm healer turns the tides of the battle with enormous spells that can both heal and harm. What about Entitled Druid? I don't know what Blood Shaman does. I'm assuming, like a lot of other Blood Mages in other games, it's going to cost health to use abilities. I want more healing. I'm going to go with that. Alright, so he gets... Undertow. Create a zone and a point that damages over time and reduces the movement of your enemies. Then Waves. Create a moving zone that heals your allies and damages your enemies. Training of Sea. Now your training also increases your offensive. I have no idea. Does it affect offensive? Does it affect utility? I don't know. Description's bugged out. Poison Water. Every time you damage an enemy, you reduce the resistance to water. We'll grab another heal. Put it right there, I think. Something like that. A new formation, we can do Linked Hearts. Increase the formation health, and Linked Souls. Increase the formation's utility and efficiency abilities. I'm going to do the increased health. Alright, and Berith, Birds of a Feather. Increases the formation's speed and attack. Or increase the formation's critical chance. Yeah, we'll grab the critical chance. Alright, so you become a Hunter. A reckless ranger who fires heavy projectiles point blank. Saboteur. Tactical ranger who creates traps and other mischievous to the enemy to set the perfect shot. Draconic Master. A magical ranger whose connection to the draconic beasts allows him to tame them, or become one of them. That sounds really cool. I mean, Hunter sounds like it's going to be the... Oh, point blank. I'm going to go with this one. I'm assuming respecking allows us to change our advanced class if we want to. Alright, so it gets Dragon Call. You track 2 dragon cubs to fight by your side. Abuse. You transform nearby enemies into rabbits, and your dragons do more damage to them. Okay, so it requires a follow-up. Maybe this isn't what I want. It's too castery, I think, since I want him to just use basic attacks. Draconic Training. Now your training also increases your utility. And Healer of Dragons. Heal all of your dragons part of the damage they have received. Yeah, maybe that's not what I wanted to do with him. It's really he's just be basic attacking. I don't know that this is gonna... I think you have to get Dragon Call first here, because then this requires... Abuse requires Dragon Call. I'll grab utility first. Let's go do that instead. Well, that's fine. We'll level up soon. I'm sure of it. Alright, Delba. Constitution, Intelligence, and Willpower. Alright, so you don't get to choose her advanced class, since she has a unique class that the player character can't choose. She gets... abilities. Don't have descriptions. Also, it looks like a buff for offensive and utility here. Damage over time. Like some sort of smash ability. I'm gonna grab the heal. Because I don't know what anything else does. Does it increase the effect of this healing? It didn't give me another ability. Alright, Heracleos. Shield wall, I guess. Alright, so you become a berserker. Warrior with an unending stamina who uses all their internal rage as fuel to improve attacks. Gladiator. A swift warrior that gracefully attacks and jumps over the battlefield. And mana warlord. Warrior connected to the mana flow of the world, using it as the most formidable of the weapons. I'm gonna make him into a berserker, and I'll make Brig into a mana warlord. Alright, so what does he get? Savage Fury. Use your fury to damage the enemies around you. Okay. Charge. You rush forward without second thought. If you find an enemy in your way, you knock him down. Generates fury. Negative training also increases utility. And, sorry, it's called special training. And then Die Hard. Increases your offensive when you're damaged and your life is low enough. I'm gonna do charge. Points into strength, 1 into constitution. Did I not select upgrade? There we go. Traced. Gets abilities that we can't read about. So I'm just going to give him the passive buff. Two into agility, 1 into willpower. Alright, Brig, 2 into strength, 1 into constitution. Alright, Mana Warlord. So he gets Petrify. Crystallizes enemies to a radius, consumes fury, or I guess in a radius. A Meteor Storm. You move instantly, applying strafing to a radius. Generates fury. I don't know what strafing does. I guess the meteors strafe the ground. Offensive training. Now your training also increases your offensive. Demolition. Increases damage to crystallized enemies. Okay, we'll grab this Petrify, then we'll grab Demolition next time. Alright, so a Healthy Bunch increases the formation's health, and Battle Instinct increases the formation's offensive. I think that's what we want for the Phalanx. Like Khaldun, you get shared mana, increase the formation's efficiency abilities, and like Minds, increase the formation's offensive. I'm gonna go with the offensive. Alright, so she gets Frost Druid, an ice cold sorcerer who walks over the frozen figure of his petrified enemies. Pyromancer, a maniac sorcerer who only wants to see the world burnt. And Necromancer, an aberrant sorcerer who summons monstrosities and specters to fight for him. A ton of typos in these descriptions. She's supposed to be a Necromancer, so I'm gonna just stick with that. Did I not finish leveling her up? Weird. Alright, for her, 2 into willpower, 1 into intelligence. Vice versa in the next level up. Keep getting to lock that in. Alright, so she gets Liberation of Souls. There's a projectile from each creature you have summoned that damages enemies and heals allies. Dirty Friend. Summon a muck to help you in combat. Or is it a muke? I don't know. Necromancer's Training. Now your training also increases your utility. And Rise of the Dead. Every time you kill an enemy, you summon a ghost, which will serve you in combat. What's a passive? Let's do that. Sounds awesome. Plus, you need probably these two. Dirty Friend and Rise of the Dead in order to use Liberation of Souls, so... Alright, so Mao gets Brawler, a rogue with a stronger punch than expected. Assassin, a sneaky rogue, master of planning and swift executions. And Storm Druid, which is an odd last name for a rogue. I feel like that'd fit better under One of the spellcasting classes. A magical rogue uses wind magic to misdirect and distract their enemies. I'm gonna go with Brawler. So she gets Death Circle. You launch projectiles around you that do damage when they hit an enemy. Even threat. And even threat, like even threatens? Like it's a taunt. Counterattack. Each time you receive damage, the enemy receives the same amount of damage. Principal Training. Now your training also increases your utility. And increased dodge when surrounded by enemies. Increase your dodge. I feel like these two work against each other. Because with counterattack, you want to get hit. And dodge prevents that. Is this a passive? It's not. Well, that's fine. Alright, some more crit chance and agility. Formations, let's see. Line of Knives increases the formation speed and attack. Thick as Thieves, everyone in the formation has more health than normal. I was going the damn. Alright, then Rhea gets points of perception and 1 point into constitution. And abilities. Don't know what any of them do. So let's grab the passive. And hope for the best, because we don't know what these do. Alright, that took a little longer than I was expecting it to, but I'm going to call the episode here. Off camera, I'm going to deal with our equipment, and then we'll get started with questing in the next one. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the, well, next one.